Hello, today we have Jack Podlesny, a member of the UGA football team. He's going to answer a few questions for us today.
How's it going?
What kicking camps should high school kickers attend if they want to get on the UGA kicker scouts radar? Do you
All
know?
right. So first of all, when I was in high school, I did not go to any kicking camps just because I was more soccer oriented. But from experience talking to other players, there is Coles, which I'm pretty sure is one of the main ones that they've gone to. And there's also a separate kicking camp held by UGA during the summer that allows them to get noticed by coaches.
Nice. How and when should a high school kicker reach out to the kicking coaches at GA?
Okay, so there's a rule that I'm pretty sure the NCAA has put in place where the coaches cannot contact players first until junior year of high school, but I would say as early as they should is freshman year, maybe even earlier. Just send in film to coaches saying your name, how old you are, what high school you're going to, where you live, and then your film, just to get your name out there.
Mm-hmm. How is a preferred walk-ons recruiting process different?
So the only difference that I experienced was that the amenities were not paid for. So when I went on my visit to Michigan, I had to buy my plane ticket and I had to pay for the hotel I was staying in. Whereas if you were a scholarship player, offered a scholarship, they would pay for those amenities.
Mm-hmm. Why'd you choose UGA?
So it came down between Michigan and UGA, and as I explored the campus a little bit more, I felt a lot more at home. It was only 5 hours away from where I grew up. My parents are still living in St. Simons. So I knew that when the day came where I was kicking field goals on Saturdays, kicking off, that I really wanted them to be able to come see every game that I was starting in.
What three characteristics make a great GA player?
I would say you have to be confident in yourself, because if you're not, then you're going to have a lot of doubt between yourself and then the other players. Trust is a huge thing between teammates, because if you don't trust one another, then you can't play together as a unit on Saturdays. And I would just say teamwork / ethic. You just want to have that fire inside of you and be able to go at it every single rep and every single down.
Mm-hmm. If you could go back in the recruiting process, is there anything that you would change about it?
Well, because my recruitment happened, it happened so late, I don't think I would change it, because I was heavy soccer oriented. And so I wanted to go play college soccer all the way up until end of junior year. But then senior year hit and I kind of just lost interest. Didn't really think I was going to play college football, and then got an offer and I was like, maybe I'll try this out. I would say if there was one thing I'd do different, I would maybe reach out to a little bit more coaches and just get their hearsay on it.
Mm-hmm. What red flags should recruits look for when they're going on official visits?
One thing I would say is you just want to ask around, ask the coaches, who else are you guys looking at? Because if they're bringing in 5 other guys, then that may be a red flag, because you don't know, it's kind of showing that they don't really want you. Yeah, they're trying to breed competition, but how many is too many? And another one I would say is kind of the right place is, it's going to feel right. Don't force it.
Mm-hmm. Do specialist positions like kickers and punters usually practice together, or do you also practice with the non-specialist players as well?
Yeah. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what we do for a day. So we go out there and it's pre-practice team periods where they split up into position groups. So we're in our own position group and we're stretching while everyone else is kind of running through some stuff. And then Next, we do a team stretch, which lasts about like 10 minutes. And then they split up into team periods where defense goes and does stuff, offense goes and does stuff. The specialists go up on their own field. We kick some. Then we come down and do a special teams period, go back up, kick a little bit more, come down, do another special teams period, and then we're done for the day. So it's kind of both.
Mm-hmm. What could potentially get a player kicked off the team?
I mean, there's a few things, but I would say especially academics. I mean, if you're not keeping your grades up like semester after another, then there's like everyone's replaceable. They really emphasize that is you're not that special. Like you can be replaced.
Yep. What is the best advice that you can offer to a high school athlete who's looking to play at the Division I level?
I would say keep your options open, because once you kind of put forth where your options are and you start to narrow it down, there may be going back, but after that, colleges that you have kind of thrown behind you don't have as much interest in you and you're being replaced. So just keep them open and kind of just like talk to more coaches and really hear what they have at that program and see what you want for yourself.
Yep. Since any D1 sport takes an incredible amount of practice, games, travel, and training, are you able to have a social life?
Yes, I am. I would say like they definitely try and help us with that. It is hard at some points, but it's usually that social life is usually right after practice, whether it's a campus ministry or like a club that like you're trying to join, but definitely not as much as a regular student would have, but we have plenty, I think.
Oh, yeah. Now I have like 3 fun questions for you. What is the craziest thing that you've ever seen a fan or a parent do during a game?
Dang. So it's just, I don't know how crazy this is, but like, it's just mind blowing to me how like when you're on the sideline, especially with like Rodrigo Blankenship, who is such a big name in college football now, he would have fans just calling his name left and right, and like he's got to block him out because he can't just give him all the attention. And so like you're just standing next to him and you're hearing Rod, 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 and it's like hard not to turn around, but like somehow he like pushes through it and doesn't turn around and blocks him out, and I just think that's like crazy.
That is pretty crazy. If you could play another sport other than football, what would it be and why?
It would definitely be soccer, just because it was like the first love of my life and it was what got me into kicking, I think.
Oh, yeah. And then what is the funniest thing that you have seen a football player do during a game?
Well, this goes back to there are some funny college moments, but definitely high school was the funniest one, where our coach had designed a play to like if we just wanted to run out the clock, we were going to have one of our offensive linemen do the worm just on the line. And instead of running out the clock, we actually got an offsides call on the other team, which put us into field goal position. So it was actually really helpful.
All right, Jack. Well, thank you for answering all these questions.
Thanks, Matt.